Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy Beat here back on the Madden 16 with the next play out of the gun trips tight end slot in the Carolina Panthers offensive playbook. If you guys haven't seen the original Carolina Panthers offensive playbook, we have the links in the description below. So go to the description, click on the link, and boom, you got yourself a free Carolina Panthers offensive playbook. But today we're working on the update for it. We're adding a few more formations. So today is going to be the gun trips tight end slot, and we're going to be working on 4 verticals. Today was going to be man zone and all sorts of other crap and random play. And I know that a lot of people are going to say that this will be cover 3. This, out of this formation, it really doesn't, but we'll get into that for like the normal way that you guys are used to it beating it. It doesn't necessarily beat it like that in this, because you have 2 tight ends at your A and RB spot. So this play is really, or this formation is really good against the run because you have 2 tight ends over there. But it's not as good for passing, but it's this formation is still good for passing. Let's be honest here. You just have to be wary of you have 2 tight ends as going out and receiving. But all the setups for this, all we want to do is just slant our RB receiver. To do that, we want to hit Y or triangle, RB or R1, and then left on the right stick, and we have a slant. Now, all we want to do is just snap the ball, and we're just looking for the open receiver, really. We're snapping the ball, and we're either really mostly hitting either our slant or our RB receiver deep down the field. It's almost always one of the two. I mean, our Y is really just our bailout. Sometimes we have to hit our Y, and sometimes we have to hit our RB receiver just like that, right open over the middle of the field. If you have that open, I would always suggest taking it, unless it's like third and forever, because this play is really good for getting a lot of yards. But you know, there's always like the possibility of just taking the couple, and this is a perfect example of what I want to show you. I know it looked like my A receiver had a step, but for one, your A receiver is your backup tight end, okay? So I would suggest having like 2 decently speeded tight ends, or even just have your number 2 tight end as a receiver, or your number 1 tight end as a receiver. But you're gonna see right here, my A receiver definitely has a step on him. But if I lob it, that's the only. If I bull pass this in there, it's going to turn into an aggressive catch animation. And if I lob it, then that's going to give this guy over here, that's going to give him enough time to run over here and play it, or if I touch pass it. So I'm just going to do the smart thing and just hit my my other tight end open underneath and just rack it for a bunch more yards. That's always the safest thing to do, unless they have more than a step. So this time we're going to snap the ball, and we're going to see, oh, he actually gets more than a step. I definitely could hit my RB receiver. I really wasn't looking at who was coming in. I'm going to have to start paying attention to that because I am playing Seattle. So if they're blitzing, see right here, I'm going to be able to hit my my receiver over the top. And it's just, you just have to be weary of like who you have there, who you're playing against, how quick his players are versus how quick your players are, and all that good stuff. So the more you get used to the play, the more you'll know whether it's okay to hit the A receiver over the top or not. So this time we're going to be able to hit our A receiver over the top. Cam Newton, unfortunately, is going to put a horrible ball on it, but you know, Cam Newton has absolutely ass throwing stats in this game. So that's just something we're going to have to live with. This time we're going to hit our Y receiver open, and wow, we're actually going to break a tackle. Oh, put him on skates. That's a touchdown. And that's going to happen too sometimes. I haven't really came into this problem online, but for some reason, sometimes it seems like in practice mode they mirror everything. Whenever everything gets mirrored, a lot of times I'll just roll out with my Y receiver. Like if I snap the ball and everyone is just like getting bumped like crazy, no one's open, usually I'll roll out and either hit my Y receiver or just take off with my quarterback. But that's only happened to me in practice mode so far. It just seems like a lot of bumping happens in practice mode, but that's all I really have to say about that. So we're gonna snap the ball. This time we're gonna not be able to hit our A receiver open over the top because I'm gonna take a sack. But my RB receiver was open if I would have just hit him. But I'm trying to hit that A receiver more often. See, this time I'm hitting my RB receiver a little bit quicker. I'm gonna have to be worried. I'm gonna have to stop taking sacks. But I always make the play look a lot worse than it really is because I try and hit every receiver. See, this time I know I'm gonna get sacked because no one picked that guy up for some reason. He walked right past number 68. I'm gonna have to slide protect this time. Yeah. See, now they'll pick up the blitz though if I slide protect. That time I got bumped, but my tight end is still going to be able to put a ball on it. So they blitz, like, I noticed that they stacked the right side, so I just decided to slide protect over there. Now we're coming out in goal line, so we're probably going to eat a sack, and we're going to get the ball off. But this definitely isn't a goal line play. This is definitely for a lot of yards. This is definitely like that big risk, big reward play because you need a lot of time in the pocket. Kind of, not really. You totally could block the running back if you want. Like right now, I'm going to block the running back, but just know that that's one less read you have on the field. And a lot of the times, I don't really look at my running back, so you definitely could block your running back. To do that, you just want to hit Y or triangle, and RT or R2. You just got to keep in mind that that's one less read that you have. So if they're coming out into coverage defense and you block your running back, then just know that you only have, what is it, 4 people going out on routes instead of your running back, and your running back is like your bailout route, you know. So you got to keep that in mind and only really do that. You know, you got to pick up on your opponent's consistencies. And if they're blitzing a lot of people or they're always blitzing, then yeah, go ahead and block him because you don't need him out because that's going to be less people in coverage. So there's a higher chance that one of your other receivers is going to be open. So yeah, you can go ahead and block him. But you really just have to pick up on your opponent's consistencies. Just find out what they're doing. And also, this definitely isn't a play that you just want to run all the time because it's really easy to bait this play, I would say. Like, if you're covering RB, then you just immediately bite up on the A route. This is very, very easy play to bait. I would think, at least, the more advanced players are definitely going to be able to bait this a lot easier. So you definitely don't want to run this play a lot, and you don't want to run it every time it's 3rd and long. You know, there are other plays in the playbook that you could run on 3rd and long that beat cover 3 and beat cover 4. So definitely check that out. Don't make sure that this is not your only play, because I definitely think this is like a play that you could adjust to by yourself pretty easily. So you don't want to run this play a lot, I would say, especially if you're blocking your running back. But keep in mind, you do also have 2 streaks. So if you got a big boy, you know, put him either all the way in the left or all the way in the right, and then you have 2 streaks, and, you know, odds are you're going to have a one-on-one situation. So we actually have Richard Sherman over there against Calvin Benjamin, so that's not really a favorable matchup, but, you know, online, it doesn't really matter. Like, all the receivers are going to be able to do aggressive catch. It doesn't really matter who you have. But obviously, like if you got like a Mike Evans or something, there's no reason, no matter what cornerback they have, there's no reason to not try Mike Evans or Calvin Johnson in a one-on-one situation this year, if you ask me. And of course, we're going to end up getting bumped. So you got to keep that in mind as well. You know, so really your main reads are R, B, A, and Y. But if you have a one-on-one situation with one of your big boys streaking on either side, there's no reason to not give it a go. So this time I'm actually going to have to hit my is that an A receiver deep down the field. That's going to happen sometimes as well. You just have to have a lot of patience with this play. Like, if you have time in the pocket, there's no reason to not get it off right away. There, I should hit my Y receiver. But if you have a lot of time in the pocket and, like, you see that and you have good pocket presence, there's no reason to just immediately throw the ball to your slant. If you're patient enough, something will almost always be open deep down the field, whether it's like a one-on-one situation or whether it's your RB or your A receiver all the way down on the sidelines, which happens a lot. See, if I could wait long enough, I'll get more yards with my RB receiver. See right there on the sidelines. But if I throw that right away, then we're going to get tackled almost immediately because it is a tight end that you're throwing it to. See right there, whenever you notice someone immediately comes in, you almost always want to hit your wide receiver. And I'm not really doing that because I'm kind of hard-headed and I want to get the most amount of yards because I don't know, that's what I like to do. But usually if you see like a linebacker blitzing in right away, you almost always want to hit your wide receiver. And that goes a lot for like the whole double loop thing. Like if people are running double loop, your wide receiver, your running back is going to be open more than anything else. And that's just the way that the play works because both of your middle linebackers are supposed to be blitzing. And if they zone one out, then they're usually putting them like in a flat or a purple, and that's going to leave your wide receiver open. But double loop is pretty easy to pick up. All you really got to do is slide to the left, and you're going to either pick it up. If you block a running back and slide to the left, you're going to pick it up 100% of the time. But if you slide to the left, you're pretty much going to pick everything up except for you're going to get like some really slow edge heat coming in against you. But that's really it, guys. Let's go ahead and run the play one more time before I wrap up this video. Who are we gonna hit? We're gonna hit our RB receiver. We had our A receiver open right there too, but we're just gonna hit the RB receiver. And that's really it for the video, guys. So if you guys like it, definitely give it a like, a comment, subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Carolina Panthers offensive playbook. It's gonna be in the description, and so is my Twitter. So definitely give me a follow. And as always, guys,